Do not adjust your computer screens. This is the Tree of Woe show, and this is a Smackdown review. I know. August 24th, 2012, Smackdown review. It's wild, I know. But let's just jump right into it. Show starts off with Randall Keith Orton coming out to the ring. He wants a title shot. And he's like, listen, if anyone's got a problem with that, come out and face me. And Sheamus comes out. Sheamus, hey, you I think you deserve it too. Whatever, I'd love to make it happen. Which brings out so many people. Booker T comes out. The general manager. He had something to say, obviously. He's like, man, this would be a huge match. Huge match. The people want to see it. But before he can get his sentence out, we get Alberto, Del Rio, and Ricardo. They come out. Del Rio starts complaining that he's the number one contender. And Booker T's like, no, player. You are. But you interrupted me. So, you go face Randy Orton. So he makes a number one contenders match for the main event of the show. Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio. So we had that to look forward to. Josh Matthews still, recovering from Kane's attack at SummerSlam. So every match had a different commentator on, they said they're going to have a guest commentator or whatever for matches or whatever. But yeah, so that was exciting. But attaboy for Josh Matthews, to just do his thing and just be so injured by Kane. We get Ryback versus Jinder Mahal. Finally, we get this match. Ryback won this match, obviously. It wasn't, the greatest thing of all time, obviously, but I was cool with it. Good to see Ryback win. Wasn't shocked by it, and never did I think it wasn't going to happen, but I like Ryback, and I definitely like him more than Jinder Mahal. So, yeah, Jinder Mahal just got tossed around in this match. It was just over here, over there, over here, over there. It was just getting tossed. Second match of the night, Caitlyn was the special guest commentator for this one. Alicia Fox versus Layla. Layla wins this match. I don't really pay attention to Divas matches, but, Alicia gets the win. Or, I just said Layla gets the win. But then I said Alicia. Layla gets the victory. She's the champion. Alicia Fox was not going to win this match, obviously. So, Layla wins. And then Caitlyn, did she turn heel? Were they going to turn? No. She goes in the ring and they hug after. And then Eve runs out and raises both their hands like, all right, that's awesome. But, it is what it is. Then you get backstage, Dolph Ziggler's back there, and then Sheamus ends up coming around. Sheamus basically says, listen, I want to cash in tonight. And Dolph's like, listen, I'll do it on my own terms, and if you're still champion when I do it, you won't see it coming. So don't worry about that. And then we get the announcement that match will take place later. Teddy Long's like, oh, but you have a match, player, or whatever. And then the next match, you got Cody Rhodes on commentary, my boy, for Sin Cara versus Heath Slater, my other boy. Man, I'd be watching SmackDown more if I knew Heath Slater was on the show. Why didn't you guys tell me? Or maybe this is the first time he's on the show. And even better, I'd watch SmackDown every week if you'd have told me Heath Slater wins on SmackDown. My goodness. They go back and forth for a while. Cody Rhodes ends up running in, getting the distraction. He grabs his mask, turns it backwards so he can't see. That was kind of funny. And then Heath Slater goes in there and says, bow! 1, 2, 3. Heath Slater wins, playing the guitar. Segment of the year. But, so Heath Slater wins, then Cody comes in again, and he's like trying to rip the mask off, and the refs hold him back. And he's, hey, it's a matter of time, Sin Cara. It's a matter of time. Loved this segment. Go Heath Slater. Even though he has nothing to do with this segment, he got the win, so I'm happy. Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus was next. The guest commentator for this was obviously Vicky. But this is a good match, and I liked where they were going with this. It made sense. It's like it didn't end with a brogue kick, and it made sense because it's like we were talking about it in our predictions. Something like this to happen. Dolph Ziggler has a match with him, like boom, just crack him over the head, like get DQ'd. Who cares? You cash in and win it. So he ends up hitting him with the briefcase. So Sheamus gets knocked out, hits him again, says, I'm ready to cash in. But by the time the ref gets over there, and again, this wasn't like a long period of time, it was like 10 seconds. In those 10 seconds, Sheamus had recovered from both briefcase shots and was up. So Dolph said, check please, never mind. Gets his briefcase, dips out of there. So, 2 briefcase shots don't hold Sheamus down for 10 seconds. He's never going to lose a last man standing match. Please. The next segment, we get Santino Marella in one of the dumber promo segments, but at the same time, I was cracking up laughing. Like, he comes out and he's talking about how ever since he lost the U.S. title, he's feeling less and less American. He forgot what apple pie tastes like. Forgot what apple pie tastes like. And basically, this whole thing was centered around how the Cobra at SummerSlam, the Cobra was not on the same page with Santino, so they were gonna, air their grievances and figure this out. Santino blames the Cobra for the loss, and basically says, "Hey, but if we can all change and be better for this and become champion again." Cesaro and Oksana come out. He has a new theme. He says that he is a winner in 5 different languages. And then Santino ends up rolling down the ramp. He's strolling, and he blocks the kick, starts going after him, and he gets the advantage on Cesaro. Gets the Cobra ready, and all of a sudden the Cobra's back here going after Oksana. Sometimes your Cobra, man. The Cobra, is attracted to hot chicks. You can't control your Cobra sometimes. But anyways, then Cesaro ends up getting back on top of, Santino beating him down. And that was the end of that segment. Primetime players on commentary. One of the best guest commentators. They did the Millions of Dollars dance with Michael Cole. Titus O'Neil was impersonating Booker T. I loved it. I was just getting down with it. Yeah. But the match was Kofi and R-Truth against Epico and Primo. Decent match. I mean, it was fine. R-Truth ends up getting the pin. He hit the little Jimmy. Always hit the little Jimmy for the win. Uno, dos, tres. And then that led to a backstage segment where Kofi and R-Truth are talking about, listen, we will face all comers. We are not, we'll fight anybody for these titles. And that brings in the primetime players, of course. They're like, listen, millions of dollars. And the Usos are there, and Primo and Epico are there, and Jay Gabes and Tyson Kidd are in there. So I'm interested. Where are they going to go with this for Night of Champions? All the tag teams? That I'm down with a match that involves all the tag teams. Let's do it. But go primetime players. Yeah. And then, I can't remember what. It was after or before something. I think it was after this, was it? Booker T backstage? Well, it was Booker T backstage with Teddy Long. He was like, who do you think deserve a shot? Whatever. And Eve's like, I ran all the numbers, and I have all the win-loss records. And I have some ideas that we'll start doing. I think that was after this. If not, it happened at some point. And then we get to the main event of the evening. Sheamus, the guest commentator for Alberto Del Rio, versus Randall Keith Orton. This match, how Orton and Del Rio work, so you can kind of imagine how this match goes. But how I did not imagine this match going. Orton goes for the RKO. Del Rio holds the ropes. Orton rolls through. Comes back, locks in the cross arm breaker. Orton, holding, trying not to do it. Finally gets it locked in. Randy Orton taps out on a Smackdown. Randy Orton loses clean via submission. Tap out on Smackdown. And I don't really pay attention to Smackdown, so I didn't read the spoilers. So, I mean, obviously, if I would have read the spoilers, I, would have been like, I would have watched it even more, but because that didn't really happen. But so I'm sitting there, Orton's gonna win. Orton always wins, my inner self always feels comfortable watching SmackDown. So I'm like, Orton's gonna win. I'm gonna be happy. Randy Orton taps out to the cross arm breaker clean. I can't stress this enough. It actually happened. What is going on? But so yeah, that happened. Del Rio wins, becomes the number one contender again for Night of Champions. At this point, I hope Del Rio wins at Night of Champions because, like I said, everyone complains about Orton. Like last year, the summer feud of Orton and Christian, where they went, Orton kept winning, and then Christian finally won whatever by DQ, and everyone was, oh, okay. But no one's complaining that Sheamus beats Del Rio every time. So if he beats him 3 straight times, what is the point? I again, I don't really care for any of those guys overall, but I hope Del Rio wins the Night of Champions. I'm just laying it out there. But Sheamus ends up getting hit by a shoe after the match, and Del Rio comes in and they go at it for a while, and they end up getting the upper hand on Sheamus and knocks him out with a shoe or whatever. And then all of a sudden Dolph comes out. Second cash in of the night, potentially. Runs out. Gonna cash in. Gonna cash in. RKO. Randy Orton gets up. RKO's Dolph Ziggler. No cash in tonight. Randy Orton stands victorious even after tapping out because he is the man. But yeah, crazy main event just because I didn't see that happening in a million years. I can't explain to you. When Orton got in that submission and all of a sudden, 3 seconds later, he's tapping. I'm like, whoa. I got so confused. But, can't complain. It gets it over. If they want Del Rio to be in the main event picture against Sheamus and not Orton right now, then, hey, what better way to get Randy Orton to tap out? And then I forgot in the opening segment, one of my favorite parts is when Booker T comes out. And he's like, Randy Orton, you always gonna get a title shot. And I'm like, you're damn right. So I thought that was funny. But that is SmackDown. This is a SmackDown review. Crazy, I know. But tell me your thoughts below on SmackDown. Anything you want. Did you read the spoilers so you knew it was going to happen? Did you not read the spoilers and you were as freaked out as I was when Orton tapped out? Let me know anything you want about SmackDown. Subscribe above, like this video, and I will talk to you on Monday. Good night.